How can you stop your little one getting overtired? Overtiredness, as I'm sure you know, is the enemy of good sleep for our babies and toddlers. If our babies are overtired, it means there is a lot of cortisol coursing through their system, which is similar to adrenaline. It's a fight or flight hormone. So it's designed to keep us awake, to keep us safe in a dangerous situation. Sleep is not a dangerous situation, but it does make it impossible to get them to sleep when they're overtired. The younger the baby, the easier it is for them to become overtired. If we're talking about how to stop your little one from getting overtired, it is so important that you know what the perfect daily schedule should be for their age. Very young babies can only stay awake for a short amount of time. And keeping a newborn baby awake for hours and hours and hours on end is going to make them overtired. Even if you're not intentionally keeping them awake and you're maybe just waiting for them to fall asleep when they're tired, some babies don't work like that, and mine never did. So you might need to take some steps to actively settle them to sleep. If you have a newborn or a young baby, we would recommend knowing what the perfect awake time is for your little one. So it might be an hour in very young babies, up to 2 hours by the time they're 3 months old. To prevent your little one getting overtired, they need to be asleep by that time. To help them, you can swaddle them. Put them in a very dark room for their naps and their night sleep. Turn on some loud white noise. And we have a lot of white noise tracks on all streaming platforms. You might need to actively settle them to sleep. So pop them in there, sleeping space, pat their bottom, rock them, do what it takes to get them to sleep if they are at risk of becoming overtired. In an older baby or a toddler, it's important to also know when their naps should be so that they are not awake for too long between naps or between their nap and bedtime, because that's going to lead to overtiredness as well. Getting the timing right is the only way to prevent overtiredness. And then, of course, giving your little one a really consistent bedtime routine is a really good way of getting them in the zone for sleep so that bedtime is not being dragged out and they're not getting overtired at that time of the day either. So really the key to preventing overtiredness, because prevention in this situation is way easier than a cure. Once your little one's overtired, there's not much you can do about it. So preventing it is the first step. Preventing it is really coming down to knowing what the perfect routine is and timings are for your little one during the day. And if you need more help with that, visit us at littlenones.co.